Alex Murdaugh was guilty of killing his wife and son.
What dark secrets lie buried beneath the idyllic charm of South Carolina's low country? Who holds the key to the chilling mystery that sent shockwaves through a prominent family and their community? Tonight, we invite you on an extraordinary journey into the heart of the Murdaugh murders, where each step uncovers more questions than answers. Who were the victims behind the headlines? What led to the shocking tragedy that forever altered the lives of those involved? As the evidence unravels, brace yourself for a tale of deception.
I'm Alex Murdaugh.
Betrayal, and a relentless search for justice. How deep does the rabbit hole go? What dark truths lurk just out of sight, waiting to be exposed? Meet the Murdaughs, a family with a legacy that now stands forever tarnished. What role did they play in this harrowing narrative? In the pursuit of the truth, we turn to the experts, seeking their insights into the sinister puzzle that continues to confound the nation. As we delve further into this chilling case, you will be left wondering what secrets are still concealed and who will ultimately be held accountable. Tonight, we unveil the untold story, the hidden truths, and the secrets that will send shivers down your spine. Hit that subscribe button and join us in our quest for justice and closure. Get ready for an unforgettable experience as we journey into the heart of the Murdaugh murders. In the shadowy heart of South Carolina's lowlands, a tale of power, tragedy, and secrets begins to unfold. On a fateful night, June 7, 2021, the tranquil ambience of the Murdaugh family hunting lodge was shattered by a chilling discovery. Margaret Maggie Murdaugh, a vibrant 52-year-old, and her 22-year-old son, Paul, were found lifeless on the sprawling 1,770-acre estate, shrouded in mystery and darkness. Mr. Murdaugh informed authorities that he came upon their lifeless forms in the vicinity of the family's remote residence in Islandton, an isolated rural enclave positioned approximately 65 miles to the west of Charleston. Earlier on the same day, Mr. Murdaugh had been present at his residence alongside his wife and son. However, phone records unveiled that around 9 p.m., he departed to pay a visit to his mother. Upon his return, he asserts to have stumbled upon the bodies. Prosecutors, on the other hand, contend that he committed the acts of violence against Maggie and Paul prior to departing, fabricating an alibi in the process. The audio of his distress call to 911, made shortly after 10 p.m., captures a seemingly anguished Mr. Murdaugh detailing the gruesome discovery, describing their bodies on the ground out at my kennel. Listen closely.
County Communications.
Carlton, I have an Alex Murdaugh on the line, caller from 4147 Moselle Road. He's advising that his wife and child was shot.
Okay, and you said it's your wife and your son?
My wife and my son.
Okay, and did you hear anything, or did you come home and find them?
I've been gone. I just came back.
Okay, and was anyone else supposed to be at your house?
No, ma'am.
Upon the arrival of law enforcement personnel, Mr. Murdaugh conveyed to them that his son Paul had been subjected to threats due to a tragic boat collision he had been involved in a couple of years earlier. Documentation from the Colleton County Sheriff's Office depicted that numerous shell casings were found, prompting them to summon a towing company to the site. They additionally noted efforts to locate surveillance cameras in neighboring residential and commercial properties, although the extensively redacted police reports did not disclose whether any such cameras were uncovered. June 10, 2021, the family faced another tragic blow just 72 hours following the passing of Maggie and Paul, as the revered local prosecutor and family patriarch Randolph Murdaugh III, aged 81, succumbed to fate. September 4, 2021 witnessed Alex Murdaugh being shot.
Somebody stopped to help me, and when I turned my back, they tried to shoot me. Oh, okay. Were you shot? Yes.
And managing to survive the ordeal. He was shot in the head while he was changing a tire, affirmed Jim Griffin, Alex's legal representative, in a confirmation to People. He is conscious and talking, which is a very good sign. Subsequently, an unidentified compassionate individual came to his aid, reportedly transporting him to an ambulance. Emergency medical technicians promptly initiated treatment, while a helicopter was summoned to airlift Alex to a hospital hospital, Griffin relayed to people that Alex sustained a wound of entry and exit, a fractured skull, and minor brain bleeding in 2 locations. At that time, Griffin also emphasized that the gunshot wound was not self-inflicted. September 15, 2021 marked an unexpected development in the case of Alex's shooting. Authorities alleged that he orchestrated his own shooting with the intent of securing a $10 million life insurance payout for his surviving son. Curtis Edward Smith, the individual Alex purportedly enlisted for the shooting, was apprehended by the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division on the same day and charged with multiple offenses, including assisted suicide, aggravated assault and battery, brandishing a firearm, insurance fraud, and conspiring to commit insurance fraud. According to the arrest affidavit of Smith, acquired by People, Alex collaborated with the 61-year-old in a plot to orchestrate the shooting. Supposedly, Alex provided Smith with a firearm and instructed him to fire at his head. On September 13, 2021, Alex admitted to his involvement in the scheme, with Smith also confessing his participation the following day. Alex's attorney, Dick Harpootlian, confirmed this development on Today, revealing that the opioid addiction and the depression stemming from the tragic murders of his wife and son in June 2021 drove him to concoct the plan. Harpootlian noted that Alex was well aware of the wrongdoing and acknowledged his actions were improper. He disclosed that at the time of the shooting on September 4, 2021, Alex was gripped by an overwhelming depression and grappling with opioid withdrawal. Harpootlian stated that Alex's intention was for his son to benefit from life insurance funds under the assumption that a $10 million policy had a suicide exclusion, which had actually expired. Unbeknownst to him, Harpootlian underscored that Alex's motivation was to safeguard his child's future. Back in February 2018, Gloria Satterfield, who had served as both a nanny and housekeeper for Mr. Murdaugh's family for over 2 decades, suffered a fall at their residence. Tragically, she succumbed to her injuries several weeks later. Following her funeral, Mr. Murdaugh introduced her 2 adult sons to a lawyer, Corey Fleming, purportedly to facilitate the resolution of matters pertaining to their mother's demise. However, the sons asserted in a recent lawsuit that they were unaware of Mr. Fleming's close association with Mr. Murdaugh. An apparent settlement agreement worth $4.3 million was reached between Mr. Fleming, Mr. Murdaugh, and his insurers, intended to allocate approximately $2.8 million to Ms. Satterfield's sons after legal fees. Regrettably, the sons revealed in September 2021 that they had only recently learned about the settlement and had never received any funds. On September 15, 2021, Satterfield's sons took legal action against Alex.
It ain't about the money.
It's not.
It ain't about the money.
What's it about?
It's like she was a nobody. And what has she done for them?
Do you think he planned to keep the money from the beginning?
Why would we not think that?
And other parties asserting their non-receipt of an insurance payout connected to their mother's demise, as revealed in court documents obtained by People. In June 2022, Mr. Murdaugh admitted to owing her sons the complete settlement amount along with attorney fees, totaling $4.3 million. Concurrently, law enforcement authorities are exploring the cause of Ms. Satterfield's passing. The family had long believed, based on the Murdaugh family's accounts, that her demise was the result of tripping over their dogs and falling down their home's front steps. However, the coroner was not alerted to her death, and no autopsy was conducted. Curiously, her death certificate designates her demise as natural, a description that contradicts the notion of an accidental fall. The police, aiming to shed light on this mystery, revealed plans in June 2022 to exhume Ms. Satterfield's remains, subsequent to obtaining permission from her family. The boat incident. Paul Murdaugh faced legal issues prior to his tragic death, including charges in a 2019 fatal boat crash while allegedly under the influence. This crash resulted in the death of a passenger and injuries to others, leading to legal actions and a lawsuit against Alex Murdaugh. In 2015, the death of Stephen Smith, found along a road.
And they said he was shot in the head. And then it turned out it was a hit and run, and then he was beat up, and so the story just kept changing.
Resurfaced with renewed scrutiny after the Murdaugh murders. Despite investigations, no arrests were made in Smith's case, and the circumstances surrounding his death remain unclear. Police records indicated he ran out of gas on the side of the road Police records indicate that Smith's car was found several miles away from where his body was ultimately discovered. While there's no direct connection to the Murdaugh family, authorities reopened the investigation in 2021 in response to the speculation surrounding the case.
Richard Alexander Murdaugh Jr.
Buster Murdaugh, Alex Murdaugh's surviving son, vehemently denied any involvement in Smith's death. On October 13, 2021, it was revealed that Alex Murdaugh was a person of interest in his wife and son's murders. On November 18, 2021, a grand jury issued 27 counts of financial misconduct against Alex Murdaugh, including allegations of embezzlement from clients, lawyers, and his housekeeper's family. On July 14, 2022, Alex was indicted for the murders of his wife and son with charges of murder and weapon possession. His lawyers maintained his innocence. The trial began on January 23, 2023, with significant evidence emerging, including text messages and testimony from family members. On February 1, 2023, it was revealed that Alex had sent his wife a text message on the night of her murder. Surveillance footage showed her phone's camera activating after her death, suggesting someone had picked it up. Buster Murdaugh testified on February 21, 2023, about learning of his family members' deaths and his father's emotional state. On February 24, 2023, Alex revealed his opioid addiction and extensive consumption before the murders. He admitted to being entangled in a severe opioid addiction, consuming an alarming amount of opioids in the months leading up to the tragic shooting. Alex acknowledged the astonishing extent of his opioid dependency, admitting that he consumed over 2,000 milligrams of oxycodone and OxyContin daily. He went on to reveal that there were occasions when he exceeded that staggering amount, conceded that he even carried a pocket full of pills when he engaged in conversations with members of the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division concerning the murders. On February 27, 2023,
John Marvin Murdaugh.
the younger brother of Alex Murdaugh, emotionally recounted the agonizing task he undertook at the crime scene.
Y'all can imagine what I experienced. It had not been cleaned up. I saw blood, I saw brains, I saw pieces of skull. And when I say brains, it could just be tissue. I don't know what I was seeing. It was terrible.
His testimony offered a poignant insight into the emotional turmoil and personal devastation that these events inflicted upon him and the entire family. On March 2, 2023, Alex was found guilty of murdering his wife and son.
The state of South Carolina, the state versus Richard Alexander Murdaugh, defendant. Verdict, guilty.
On March 9, 2023, Alex's lawyers announced plans to appeal his conviction. As we conclude our exploration of the Murdaugh family's complex story, we're left with a multitude of questions and mysteries that continue to intrigue. The tragic boat crash, the shocking deaths of Maggie and Paul, the enigmatic connection to Stephen Smith's unsolved death. Make sure to subscribe to our channel to stay up to date with the latest developments, deep dives, and analyses of intriguing stories like this one.